Well, the charity Doctors Without Borders have not attended the summit in Istanbul, and a representative for the organisation, Aitor Zabalgogeazkoa, is here with us now, and we can discuss exactly why. So why did MSF decide they weren't going to go to this summit?
Well, we think that, the summit is not addressing the weaknesses of the humanitarian system. The world currently is failing the victims of crisis, like epidemics, like conflict, and this is not the key and the main matter of discussion during the summit.
And of course, I mean, MSF are an organisation that's on the ground in many of these places. I mean, what is it you want to see? These things have to be discussed somewhere, and surely this is as good a place as anywhere to discuss these situations around the world.
Yeah, but there are a lot of other things that are being discussed, and a lot of focus is taken out from the emergency response and the crisis response, which is the main and the first situation where world and humanitarian community is and the international community is failing to the people.
So, at which point did you decide that MSF weren't going to be part of this? When you heard the program, where did this come from?
Yes, after looking into when we were looking into the issues that we're going to discuss, we saw that it was not worth our presence. Recognizing that it's a much needed event. I mean, it's a much needed summit that needs to happen. But this kind of summit needs to address the problems and needs to also to look into binding commitments. Binding commitments that they should start by the states first, which are the ones who have the power and the obligations to enforce, big issues that are now big frameworks that are now in question, like the international humanitarian law, the refugee law.
Aitor, look, MSF are a huge organisation. When you told the World Humanitarian Summit that you weren't going, what was the reaction from them?
Well, they thought that there was a pity that we were not present and not present, putting our voice. But at the same time,
did you feed back your concerns? Did they say that?
Yes. Yeah, we feed back our concerns, but it's already happened. It's a big event with a lot of other inputs from other organizations, states, agencies, even the private sector, which is a big issue now. I mean, and it's a very positive thing, but it didn't happen.
Aitor, look, you touched on some of the reasons that you didn't want to attend. What do you want to see then the world community doing? Because as I said, this sort of thing has to start from somewhere.
Yeah, we want to see how the weaknesses of the humanitarian aid response are being addressed, how the response to epidemics like the Ebola or like the yellow fever that is happening now in Africa are being properly attended by the international community. We want to see how the legal frameworks that they are binding, or they should be binding, in conflicts like Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, they are being respected and enforced. And we want to see also how refugee law is being respected, but it's not the case.
And sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Aitor, but just in what way do you think the world is not sort of living up to the pledges it's made? Is this about money? I mean, in what way is the world not doing what it's promised to do in certain respects?
No, it's about the lack of binding commitments.
Right.
Okay. So and again, the ones that they have the power, the obligation, the responsibility to look into that are first the states, and then the rest of the society, which include NGOs, humanitarian aid agencies, private institutions, etc.
Okay, well, Aitor Zabalgogeazkoa, thank you very much for joining us here.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.